Bravery and individuality are not qualities that the Templar typically program into their robots. But when the Protoss returned to take Aiur back from the Zerg, one heroic probe saved the day by warping in a pylon that allowed reinforcements to join the battle. Now in the Nexus, Probius has gained a spark of life that matches his boundless sense of curiosity and adventure. Probius is a strategic range specialist who uses potent area denial and ability combos to keep enemies at a safe distance. Though he doesn't use mounts, Probius has a base movement speed that is faster than other heroes. He can also use his Worker Rush ability for a temporary speed boost. Probius warps in pylons to regenerate his mana and power his abilities. When he is inside a pylon's power field, his mana is rapidly restored. Outside of talents, Probius can have a maximum of 2 pylons active at the same time. His first ability, Disruption Pulse, fires a burst of plasma in a straight line, damaging all enemies in its path. Warp Rift allows Probius to control the battlefield. When cast, it creates an anomaly at the target location that slows all enemies in its area of effect. If Probius hits a Warp Rift with a Disruption Pulse, it explodes for major area damage. When used together, Warp Rift and Disruption Pulse are a powerful 1-2 punch and Probius's preferred method of attack. Probius can also warp in a Photon Cannon that will attack any enemy nearby. Photon Cannons last for a short window of time and can only be placed near a pylon. If its pylon is destroyed, the Photon Cannon is deactivated. Probius' first heroic ability, Pylon Overcharge, temporarily turns his pylons into powerful long-range weapons. Selecting this heroic also passively grants a shield to all pylons. Null Gate, his second heroic, focuses more on battlefield manipulation than offensive power. Probius creates a temporary wall of energy at a target location that damages and dramatically slows enemies who remain in contact with it. Probius excels when he can get to an area early and set up his defenses. Place his pylons strategically so that they can power his photon cannons and regenerate his mana while also being safe from enemy attacks. Hide pylons in brush, behind walls, or in other places where they can't be easily located. If a photon cannon's pylon is destroyed, warp in another to reactivate it. When fighting against Probius, destroy his pylons in order to limit his effectiveness. Warp Rift has multiple charges and several can be active at the same time. Cast them near each other to slow enemies in a large area or force them to leave it. Look for choke points and other tight locations where a well-placed Warp Rift can have a significant impact. Detonating Warp Rifts with Disruption Pulse deals high amounts of burst damage. Disruption Pulse's projectile doesn't stop when it hits a Warp Rift, and it can trigger multiple explosions in a single cast. Stacking Warp Rifts on the enemy team and detonating them all at once can be devastating. Warp Rifts have a short delay before activation, giving the enemy a brief window to escape. Pylon Overcharge works best when Probius has the maximum number of pylons active. Try to save it for when all of your pylons are up and running, and be ready to replace one if it gets destroyed. Pylons that are warped in after Pylon Overcharge is activated can also attack enemies until the effect expires. Remember that Null Gate can be deployed at any angle and direction within its targeting area. Creative and unexpected Null Gate placement can be more disruptive than a simple wall. While Null Gate is great for keeping enemies away, it can also prevent their escape. Use Null Gate to control the enemy team's movements and force them into a dangerous position. Probius is a brave little probe who proves that the greatest heroes can come from the most unexpected places. Make sure to leave us a comment and subscribe to Heroes of the Storm on YouTube and around the web, and we'll see you in the Nexus.